Hey, fragrance friends and lovers. How's it going today? I hope that my internet connection is going to be all right tonight. I can tell it's already lagging just a little bit. So let me know how how if I can speak tonight, how my internet connection is. So sorry, a little bit late on here, honestly, tonight, 6 p.m. or so. How's everybody doing? How's the fragrance world? How's the fragrance life? Hope that everybody's doing all right out there, smelling amazing, doing well, having a good time. I'm happy to see. I don't know if y'all been seeing or paying attention, Mr. Smelly. I think he's been doing good. I think he brought some back on the Fragcom and kind of got some people talking. And if you haven't seen some of those guys, some of the people that Mr. Smelly was on live with, some real legends of the Fragcom. So that was really fun. So, anyways, we're going to talk about the new releases that have come up recently. Of course, we're going to talk about the new fragrance releases and explore those as we do every week. But we do have a topic tonight. Are y'all excited about the topic? Has Fragcom changed? I mean, this is an interesting topic. And honestly, I would love there to be a lot of feedback. I would love to see a lot of interaction, and maybe that y'all can share how you feel as a as the fragrance community, because there's so many details. There's so much to know. There's so much out there. And I probably don't have all the answers, but I certainly try to understand and relate to Fragcom. So, hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? How's everybody popping in? I'm wearing Bon Monsieur from the house of Rogue Perfumery today. Very classy, respectable, gentlemanly fragrance. And actually reminds me, I haven't done my review on Instagram yet. So that's going to have to be delayed a little bit, which is, I probably shouldn't do that. If y'all don't know, I'm into 8,000s, creeping up on 10,000 on Instagram. They love me much more over there, and it's a wonderful place. And that's kind of maybe a small part of why we'll have this discussion here tonight. I saw some people pop in and some people pop out. I got thumbs up from somebody. Where did everybody go? Is my connection that bad? Let me know if it is. I'm trying to improve it. I hope that I can get a better computer and internet here soon in the future. So how's everybody doing out there? How's everybody smelling like? And again, what's your scent of the day? As you pop in, you can, and share your scent of the day. That's a wonderful part of getting this live started. This little part of the community here. So this topic, I don't want to start on the topic yet, but I do want to mention it. We're going to jump into this topic. Has Fragcom changed? And I think it has. And I do want to tell y'all why I even thought of this topic. But not only has it been on my mind that Fragcom, in my opinion, certainly has changed. Somebody who's big in the Fragcom said, I think that they were just joking around. They also said that they don't really watch other fragrance reviewers. So on one side, speaking out of one side of their mouth, this really person who's really big in Fragcom, pretty influential, said that they don't really watch other fragrance reviewers. But on the other hand, they also said that they don't think Fragcom's changed. So I don't want to get into that too much, but I don't think you can really speak on something if you aren't aware of Fragcom too well. And I think that Fragcom has changed dramatically. Fragcom is a completely different place than what it used to be. And again, I wasn't there. I wasn't watching even before I started my channel. I started watching, I guess you could say it was the second or the third generation of fragrance reviewers. I was watching like My Mickers, Grey Doc, and there was a couple others. Coach Rob 619, love that guy, Coach Rob. He was incredible. And of course, there were some of the other people who were already very well. I mean, Jeremy Fragrance was already on this train, already extremely popular. Max Forte, Redolescence, Robes Away, everybody already existed. So I can't, again, I'm not claiming that I know everything about Fragcom. And then I only, some people had mentioned people like Katie Puckrick and Hero and some of these other guys and Lex. And then I started watching, and I had to dive into YouTube to find some of these people. And Joey Cannoli, I didn't even know who Joey was at first. So I think we need to still talk about some of these amazing people, and still that some of them are still reviewing, like Street Sense and some of these people are still out there reviewing, and we can't forget about them. But even since I guess I should explain what Fragcom used to be for me when I first got into Fragcom. When I first got into Fragcom, sure, there were some other groups. There were some people, some certain thought. There were the Facebook groups. There was already that group division and so many groups growing and so many different divisions of people on Facebook, which is all fine. There's different people with different thoughts and how they approach fragrance and life and all that. But there's a couple things a little bit negative, and then I'm going to point out some positives that were then and now. So some of when I got into Fragcom, this is about 3. Well, I started watching, I don't know, 4 or so more years ago, and I've been reviewing for 3 years or so. And back then, people were much more willing to shout you out if you got a really good idea. And these days, it's more about tags, which I guess is essentially the same thing. You kind of, talk about the same topic, and then YouTube or the algorithm hopefully pushes that. So you essentially work together as a team as a group of people, content creators, to talk about a certain topic. And I guess that's a way of shouting other people out. But if you authentically liked somebody's content or they made a really good idea, people would just mention or encourage you to check other people's content out. And I used to do that, and I've done that sporadically, but that's kind of dying away. And that's something I liked that used to be a part of Fragcom. Also, in the older style of Fragcom, when I first started watching, Jeremy Fragrance, again, was still very popular. When I first really started watching, Jeremy Fragrance was already number one in the regards of views and subs and all that, if his numbers are even real, which is another topic for another day. But anyways, there was still the majority of fragrance reviewers authentically reviewed fragrances and understanding them, evaluating them, critiquing them, sometimes giving numbers. I've moved away from that because so many people used to get offended if I, at the end of my fragrance review, it was their favorite fragrance. And even though I respected it, to me and how I rate fragrances, again, average to me is 5 out of 10. 5 to a lot of people is very negative. And again, I see a lot of ladies, especially, and I think they're better about it, but these guest ladies wanting to be nice, to them, they were showing some good fragrances, but still, about the lowest rating some of them would give was like an 8 or maybe a 7 to be nice. To me, 5 is average. So to me, some people's favorite designer fragrances, I was giving out numbers. I was giving out like 6s and 7s to some fragrances that people thought were masterpieces. So I've moved away from that because, I don't know, the numbers kind of distract people away. If I give you an idea about how something smells, you can be the judge to smell it yourself. As I represent the composition and the notes and the transitions and the art and the work that's gone into some of these fragrances. So if anybody's here watching, I see 7 people. This is really interesting. I've never had 7 people, or I don't know, 5 or more, and I don't see any comments. So hopefully my comment section's working. If you'd love to jump and share your scent of the day, I've already gotten to this topic a little bit, but we can get sidetracked and have fun, of course, and to talk about scents of the day. Today I'm wearing Bon Monsieur. I know my French is terrible, from the house of Rogue Perfumery. That's my scent of the day. I've been testing it, and I'm going to put a review on my Instagram, hopefully tonight, if I don't get too tired. And of course, I want to relax. I've worked really hard today, distracting a little bit of fragrance, being authentic, being my true self. I don't know if y'all have noticed that my hands are very dirty, and I've got some callus. Been working a lot outside with the tools, and I don't want to, of course, flip the bird or anything like that to y'all. But if y'all can't tell, my middle finger there is a little bit more swollen than the normal. A yellow jacket or something, if you can't tell right here, got me really bad. And actually, it hurt. I can still sometimes feel it. It's still sensitive, and it hurt. Actually, I was in pain for almost a day. So there's some serious bugs and critters out there in the wild. So you got to be careful. But I was just trying to take care of some weeds with the machete, and something down there didn't like that, and I joked that it was blood for blood and tooth for tooth, because I don't think they're natural. I think they're invasive down here, but there's something called banana spiders. I don't know if these are really what these are, but they get really big. Some of them are about the size of I don't know, a silver dollar or a full size dollar, if you know what that is, or maybe a baseball, a spider that big. Yes, and have big webs. They're big enough to actually catch small birds, and that's terrible, and I hate them. So I got rid of the two of those, took them out, KO, and I know I'm scaring some people, anyways. There's a little bit of myself. So that's a little bit of authenticity for you. If you want to know a little bit more of the wild adventures of Benjamin. Anyways, let's get back to fragrance. Let's not scare you too many people away. Sorry about that. Let me know if you like my experience or my stories. But anyways, with the Fragcom, let's get back to the Fragcom. We talked about that there used to be shout outs instead of tags. So that's been a pretty big change to me. And also, again, people were doing more individual fragrance reviews. People were focused on fragrance, which I think is very important. And again, I understand top tens, and we've talked about that so many times. And it's kind of, to me, it's a dead subject. You don't want to kick the dead horse. It's a mute. Everybody's talked about it. But again, there's beauty in both of them. Single reviews give you a more detailed understanding. And if somebody actually has put effort to actually understand the fragrance and really put effort into explaining the fragrance, it can be a valuable resource in helping you decide if you are interested in the fragrance enough to buy it or sample it. And to me, get the most entertainment or the most value from individual fragrance reviews. I'd rather go back and watch older fragrance reviews that some people say are very outdated over some of these top 10s, especially when they're talking about the same fragrances over and over out of their collection, and they're just thinking of new ways to present the same fragrances. I've seen some people do some top 10 lists and attractive fragrances and sexy date night fragrances, and that's essentially some of the same fragrances I've seen in videos 5, 6, 10 times from their channel. And I don't want fragrance is subjective. Everybody has their own opinions, but in my humble opinion, none of those fragrances were particularly seductive or attractive. And when I make a list, I think about it, and it's dedicated. And that's sometimes why I share samples, because I don't have all the bottles in the world. I don't have all the money to buy every single fragrance. I wish I could to show it to you and present it that way, but that's just not realistic. Anyways, fragrance reviewing in the past, we've had a big change. People have seen what the algorithm's done, especially with Jeremy Fragrance. Again, a lot of people, I don't want to evaluate Jeremy or go down that hole, but again, there's a lot of reasons, and Jeremy Fragrance has he's worked hard. Don't want to take that away from him. But top tens, a lot of fragrance reviewers were unwilling or completely rejected doing top tens in the past. And so they built up this audience, and they built up this hobby here on YouTube for a while. And none of them had ever done top tens or really cared to do anything like that. And then Jeremy Fragrance really started pushing them. And then they didn't even, everybody in Fragcom kind of still kept doing their own thing and didn't do any of the top tens. So Jeremy Fragrance had like a whole year, even two, to keep going with these top tens when maybe there was an unfair advantage with YouTube pushing the top tens. So a lot of fragrance reviewers today, they'll do unboxing, top tens, and tag videos, and that's essentially most of the content that's being created today. I am one of the very few fragrance reviewers out there who still does individual fragrance reviews. I'm not disheartened. I'm not begging for views or complaining about views. That's not what this is about at all. Hopefully you can see a smile on my face. This is a positive content here. But I think Fragcom has changed, and this is an interesting topic because I'm not saying that we need to go back to the old days. I think that we need to figure out, well, not only what people want, but also for fragrance reviewers to share some of their personality and figure out how to, become, I don't know, share a certain style, a certain aesthetic, share who they are. Me joking about the outdoors, some of y'all really like my backyard, and I don't know, maybe that's a part of my stick or I don't know, my who I am that you see, but I'm authentic. I'm not putting on a show. This isn't a fake personality. Me showing you a big swollen finger, that's a bug bite. That's me. And I don't know, some people might like that and some people might not, but there's personalities that some people really are attracted to and some people are don't, like Cuba Nose. But of course they're successful, like big business crushing the box. That's divisive to a lot of people. And sometimes that's the kind of thing, you taking a stance or a position on a certain topic or a certain thing, that gets people more interested in you. So, you gotta almost, I guess, you kind of have to do more than the fragrance. I guess, as a fragrance review, you have to have something else to you than just focusing on fragrance reviewing and focusing just purely on the fragrance. It would be nice if people would come to a review, in my opinion, and just see the value and just a review. But people also want to be entertained, or I guess relate to the person, reviewing that said fragrance. And I guess that's a part of what's in Fragcom. So there's a lot of people reviewing fragrances, but not everybody is a character. Not everybody is a personality. I'm not encouraging people to be fake, not at all. But again, I've talked about personality, and I don't know. It feels like we have a lot of people who are trying to do the influencer content, but don't have the influencer personality. I don't know. That's an interesting thought. I still don't see comments. I have not disabled comments. I don't know why. I do not see comments here. Maybe I should try to grab a phone. I don't know if there's any way y'all could reach me. But I have not. Let's see here. No, I can't. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know why I can't see the comments. Anyways, let me know what you think about this. I'd love for the interaction. Actually, let me grab my phone real quick and let me see if I can't jump on my live and look at my live and see if I can't see the comments that way. I don't know if YouTube's having a problem. Maybe I'm having a problem. So it's just going to take like 5 seconds. Oh, back in action, my friends. Anyways, let's see if I can't see the comments this away. Hopefully I can. If I can't see your comments, that's certainly a problem, for sure. So, okay, I can see the comments now. I can see the comments on my phone. Can't see it on my computer. Don't know what's going on there. Let's see. We got Gemiel in the house. Sorry, I'm going to be looking down a little bit. Maybe I'll put this here to the side so I can actually see the comments. So, okay, turn my okay, my so Gemiel's in the house. Ronald says, "Evening bit since the night is YSLY EDP." That's a very popular one. And the Le Parfum, very popular fragrances right now. Anthony Concepcion, love your name as always, says Mont Blanc Legend Intense. I see the comments, my friends. I got the comments going. That's a nice one. That is a nice one. Again, Azaro made some good ones. Wanted by Night. Hopefully, some of y'all are going to pull that one out. It's a performer. Again, still a very attractive fragrance. So, Scent of the Night, Jean Paul Gaultier, Lamal, Kuram Khan. Hey, can't go wrong there. It's a classic. Ken Dodge says Scent of the Night is Rue Brocha. How do you say that? Touche? Evening, Ben. Good to see you, Ken. I'm not familiar with that fragrance. If you want to, please tell us more. I'm interested. I don't know anything about that one. Casey Jones is in the house. Hey, Ben. Hey, fix your connection issues. Well, hopefully you can see me, and hopefully you can hear me well. I invested in a good microphone. Pretty good. Pretty darn good. But the technical issues that I can't see chat on my computer. I don't know what that's all about, but I can see the comments on my phone. YouTube, what are you trying to do to me? Anyways, Casey says, Aaron, and the computer issue. It's just a funny connection. This computer doesn't allow the USB connection from the mic to go deep into, and the webcam to go, kind of, it's not stable physically. So if I touch or anything wrong, it could get disconnected. Sam says Aaron Terrence Hughes Alpha Man. I've been hearing good things about Aaron Terrence Hughes fragrances. The new Smolder, I've seen some people already get their hands on it. I like the name Smolder as a fragrance as an idea, and hopefully I can smell that fragrance soon. Ronald says I don't think. Yeah, I got the comments going now. So sorry about that, Ronald. We're back in action now, though. Casey says scent of the day is Guerlain Le Ideal Sport. Good to see you, and that's a nice one. Isn't I think that was discontinued, isn't it? Isn't it? I think a lot of those are. And Casey says you should do a collaboration with Gent Sits. I don't know if he'd be willing to. I'm not against doing collaborations. I am more comfortable in doing seasonal stuff. Again, I love interviewing people, and that's something I was really trying to do, and something that I thought would build up the Fragcom. But I kind of got a bitter taste in my mouth because again, I don't want to be negative about Fragcom. There's a lot of good people. There's a lot of wonderful people, but there's also some that are not so good. One person, again, I'm not going to say what they said, but I mentioned it, but said some of the worst stuff possible. And another person was lovely, and this person was really friendly, but I encouraged them and I told them some stuff that they should do to improve their YouTube channel, and they have grown exponentially. They've become extremely popular, and they're actually one of the fastest growing, biggest names in Fragcom. And I won't say who they are, but they know who they are. And then they stopped messaging me. And sometimes people do that. They kind of come, they're your friend, or maybe they feel like they got you, that you're in their bag, so they could be, call upon you, or I don't know, be your friend whenever they want. And I'm not saying this person has that kind of intention. I don't know what their intentions are. All I can tell you is that they really don't talk to me anymore, don't have anything to do with me. And I tried to be a friend with them, and I had them on a live at one point on Instagram and all that stuff. And it's the world's a funny place. The world's a very funny place. So, anyways, I may be doing lives. I don't know. Maybe that's the way we're going to have do more lives in Fragcom. I don't know if that's what people really want to see, but I do think it builds some sense of community and also gives a lot of exposure to, especially some of these legends who, maybe don't create as much content anymore, but they used to. Anyways, hi all evening, Frag Guy. Good to see you. My friend Richard says, "What's good, Ben? Good to see you, Richard. How's life treating you? What's good? What I need views. I review an Old Spice deodorant." Maybe that's popular. And BP Wool, if y'all don't know, he's a legend in the Fragcom. He's one of the guys who's been reviewing fragrances and things and scented objects. That's all things scent related, as I like to say. And he's been doing it for a long time. And BP Wool certainly is somebody who is very underrated. And if I remember correctly from watching Mr. Smelly's live, I think they said that at one point, Mr. BP Wool, believe it's Brad. I believe they said that you had more videos than you had subscribers. So there are things that go into that, like lighting and camera and all this stuff. But there's also, YouTube is pushing certain types of ideas or attitudes or styles, and it really doesn't seem fair. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. So Casey says, Ben, when I don't even know if I can say that word. YouTube, funny word plays. Do you think people go back to caring about how they look and smell? People will start dressing again. I think that they will. I think that the people already want to, and people already would and should. And I think that in a lot of places they're already pretty much doing that. But there's some people who don't seem to say that there won't be a new normal, or there shouldn't be a new normal, and all this kind of funny stuff as I don't know, trying to change society. I don't know what some of these people want to do, or think what we should do. But anyways, I think that things are getting back to normal, and I think we should enjoy life at least as much as possible. And anyways, that's that. I'm not going to get too much into that, but there's joy to be had. That's for sure. Frag, a guy says, I know the feeling. Top 10s all over the place. I used to love them back in the day. Hey, they serve a purpose, and some of them are good if they are actually set on a good topic and the person actually chooses fragrances that actually suit that topic. Again, I've been aided by top tens. I completely agree. They can be good, but a lot of people are just doing them for the views, cycling the same fragrances and not really putting effort into it. And it's kind of, I don't know, taking away from the excitement and the to me of fragcom a lot to see these people doing that stuff. um Now I don't watch them. It seems like a dozen a day comes out. Yeah, it's just not original to me either. Casey says, Ben, do you ever worry that these fragrance houses will come after you? No, I don't. And somebody brought that up about Creed. I don't know. They can take all the advertising money on any of the videos I've ever reviewed Creed, and I don't know. I doubt that they would even get $5 out of me. So I don't have a lot of money. Certainly can't really afford lawyers, but I mean, what would they? I mean, a defamation lawsuit or something. I don't know. To me, this is, if something like that were to happen, or maybe they would ask YouTube to shut me down or something. I don't know. That's to me, as a being a YouTube content creator, and that's, I mean, if YouTube doesn't protect its creators, what's the point of YouTube? And certainly, I don't want to get into that. That's one of the big things that happen in YouTube. YouTube has been through, you could say, an apocalypse of sorts, as they say, and YouTube doesn't want you mentioning or talking about that. I mentioned that there's been 3 or 4 of them, and one of them was regarding that. So I don't think that content creators have much of any protection. So I guess I'm on my own, but at least I've felt like I've done a service to the world, a service to Fragcom. That I've criticized the reformulations of Creed Aventus, especially a number of Creed fragrances for being overpriced, and encouraging people to also explore other niche fragrances than just trusting, Creed and the popularity and just blind buying those. And sure, some of them were really good, but are they really the best fragrances in the world? There's a lot to try and there's a lot to explore. And it really, I'm not disappointed in the people. And maybe I am to a degree the fragrance reviewers who kind of push that idea, but more like it saddens me that some people might, just blind buy Creed, a fragrance, and then just believe they have the best thing and never explore any other niche fragrances, and maybe stop even, trying fragrances because they think they have the best thing ever. Why explore? Why try anything else? And then they feel, I mean, I guess if that makes them happy, more power to them. But to me, that's a terrible thing. And I feel like I've seen that quite a bit with Creed. People feel like if they buy something, for example, let's say original vetiver, and they think that they now have the best vetiver fragrance, so they never need to try any other vetiver fragrances. And it really kind of, they stop really getting interested in fragrances, or they stop exploring and all that. And I feel like I've seen that a lot. So, anyways, yeah, I'm not worried about that. It could happen, but again, here on YouTube, I'm very small. I'm not making a living off this or Instagram, not at all. I that was one of my dreams, to become popular enough to, constantly review fragrances and to be able to make a small living off of this, and then eventually fund a perfume brand. Not making enough money at all to do for that kind of dream to happen. But my Instagram, and I've been putting tons of work into it, 2 posts or more a day, has really been getting going. And I don't know if it's possible for anything like that. I really don't know. But I've had some people encourage me, come out of the woodworks and tell me that they believe I could be the biggest in the fragrance world in general. And they've told me that I could certainly be the biggest in Instagram. So I don't know if that's true, and I'm not trying to go for clicks or views and exactly, but I do want to help everybody, and I have a voice, and I don't exactly have to fit in a camp. And again, I'm not trying to take shots at some of the people on Instagram, but I don't have to think like them, and some of them have. I won't say who they are, but one person tried to bully me and to, kind of thinking that I'm beneath them or that I have to follow their kind of community, because for a while, and in a sense, they kind of were the biggest person in Fragcom. And it's funny how that happens. It happened with Jeremy, And again, when he attacked my channel with only 500 subs, and it kind of happened with somebody else. I'm not going to say who they are because overall, I think that this guy does good things, but it's funny how that happens when somebody feels threatened, and especially when, I don't know, I'm trying to be friendly with everybody. I think that's one of the most interesting things ever, that somebody would try to do that to you. So, anyways, I don't see any new comments. So, anyways, with Fragcom, I think a lot has changed, certainly, not only with individual fragrance reviews going to, again, different types of content, but how people interact with each other, and I guess how people approach fragrances. So again, I don't want to criticize this one person, but again, I thought this topic was very interesting because one of the biggest people in Fragcom said that they don't think Fragcom has changed in the last, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. They don't think Fragcom has changed. I think it's changed. Anyways, let's talk about the new fragrance releases. Unless y'all have some other thoughts or questions or anything y'all want to say, we can start talking about the new fragrance releases that have come out recently. Are y'all excited? Hopefully there's some new ones, some exciting fragrances. And again, I do see how many people are here in the live. 13 people. I do appreciate you from the bottom of the heart being a friend and being with me and hanging out, spending your precious time with me here tonight. And we got to, hopefully this is fun and entertaining. How that. So Anna Makra from the House of Dusita is a new fragrance coming out. It's described as a woody floral. I don't know. Let me know if you want me to read every individual note. I feel like I don't want to do that tonight. I've done that if the notes sound particularly interesting. But this is a very complex floral fragrance. It does have peach, which you don't always see. And so they say that their orange blossom is from Tunisia. Interesting. I don't know if that makes much of a difference, but Haitian vetiver, always like to see that. Australian sandalwood. So Dusita makes some great fragrances. I do feel like many of them do lean a tiny bit feminine, which is not a bad thing, but fantastic. They are a nice house. And Ex Nihilo is as well. They made Cure Celeste, which I would like to get in the collection. Very expensive though. And they have a new fragrance called The Hedonist. This fragrance here has bergamot and ginger. Not it's funny when they say Akigala wood. Anyways, the notes don't seem very complex, but you never know what the fragrances are actually going to smell like and how they're going to feel. Ex Nihilo able to pull out some interesting textures. Some of their fragrances aren't the most complex or with rare notes or rare ingredients, but interesting textures, and somehow they pull a really good quality. Initio fragrances, Oud for Greatness. I know you do. I don't know if this is a flanker. It looks like it comes in a very similar bottle, maybe the same bottle. It's called Oud for Happiness. Actually, when I was looking at this for a second, I thought this was a clone of, Oud for Greatness. Very popular fragrance. This one here has notes of bergamot and ginger. I'm seeing more ginger. I don't know if that was because of me. I said that we should see more ginger in fragrances. Has a floral aspect to it. It's fresh, and it's also not too spicy for most people. And I love the note of ginger. And I spoke very highly of Eau is Jambre by the House of Mezin Sur. They have a CO2 extracted ginger note in that fragrance. I love it. This fragrance here, again, bergamot, ginger, oud, cedar, licorice. Not notes aren't too crazy. Musk, vanilla, herbal notes. So I don't know if some people will be disappointed thinking this is a flanker or going to be another dark fragrance. I don't know how maybe this has lots of oud and maybe it is dark. I don't know, but it looks nice, and I do like licorice. So I think that has potential. We'll have to see how fresh or how playful it is versus how dark, for sure. Porsche made a new fragrance. Actually, I don't remember ever smelling any Porsche fragrances. Let's look at that. And I almost missed a fragrance from Miguel Matos. We'll look at that as well. But Porsche, a designer fragrance, probably will hit the discounters, and some people might be excited about it. It has notes of grapefruit, pink pepper, ozonic notes, cashmere, and clary sage, lavender, patchouli, amber, and vetiver. I feel like I've seen this note composition somewhere before, Not really sure exactly where, but I feel like I've seen a very similar note breakdown in some kind of fragrance. Not exactly sure what it was. I don't think it's CH Men Privé. I don't know. I've seen something like this before somewhere, so I'm not sure if this is an original fragrance, but it does look fairly nice. So let me see if I can't load up this live again. The comments even on my cell phone weren't popping in, so I want to make sure. Okay, there are new comments. What is going on with my internet? What is going on? Okay, well I can see some of them. Again, good to see everybody popping in. Oh, good to see you, Richard. Frag guys in the house. BP Wool says, I need views. I review an old, I read that. So let's see if there's anything else. Did you try Mancera Wild Cherry? Not yet. I do need to try that one. Hope you're all doing well. Yes, Lolia, La Casa. Good to see you too, and hope that you're doing well out there. Frag guy says, Into the Night is Jupe Ohm EDP. Jed the Stud says, I'm getting way too many pop-ups here. And they're throwing me off of looking at the comments. So I'll get back to that one. Almost missed a couple of these. So Ben, oh no, I read that. So let's see here. What's up, bros? Good to see you, Judd the Stud. See you wearing vintage chrome. Is it a powerhouse? Is that strong, Judd? Let us know. Frag guy says, since I read that, Jupe Ohm EDP. Is Creed like Rolex? Too much hype, but not the best? Maybe so. I've never owned a Rolex. I've never had the luxury of testing one of those. But yeah, I wouldn't be amazed if Rolex, you're paying a lot for the brand. And certainly a lot of these luxury items, again, that notoriety, that popularity certainly plays into the luxury and the price. And some people care about that, and some people care more about how it performs. So yeah, that's definitely something that's in the car world, which I joke about. There's cars that are for looks and for people gushing over them because they look so good, and sometimes there's cars that are for performance. So kind of maybe this, I guess that hopefully it helps you understand a little bit. So you should be able to share the sites you're looking at so we can read along. I'm going to try to figure out if I can do that with a dual screen. So maybe I can figure out how to do that. Anyways, that would be fun, wouldn't it? I'll try to figure out how to do that. I have a perchant for, I'm not sure what you meant by that, but for Eau de Celery fragrance, huh? Is that what you're good? I don't know if you're joking with me, Led. I don't know what you're joking. Anyways, so Porsche fragrance doesn't look too original. I feel like I've seen that somewhere. There's the new fragrance from Miguel Matos called Colonia de Farias. Not really. This probably has some kind of story behind it. Say Colonia de Ferris says it means holiday cologne. It's a holiday work resulting from a challenge by Azo Sia Kayo Boya. Anyways, I can't say that. It might be Portugal or something. Let's see here. It's a challenge. The resulting perfume is neither figurative or entirely natural, but makes use of plant species from the Algarve, such as eucalyptus, geranium, mint, lavender, citrus, labdanum, immortelle. So lots of floral, lots of green, lots of fresh and crisp. Limited edition of 4 bottles. What? So are they trying to tell me that there are only 4 bottles of this made? Why would you make a fragrance there's only 4 bottles? And why would you release that on Fragrantica that there's only 4 bottles made? I'm not sure what to believe there. Anyways, it looks decent. There's a lot of these modern synthetic fragrances. Again, I don't want to claim that I'm the biggest influence in the world, but I started talking about Kenzo Jungle and the kind of this modern futuristic vibe of these kinds of things, and it's interesting to see that we get more and more of things like that. So Let's see here. There's some new fragrances from the House of Iceberg. Some people I saw back in the day claim that some of those are hidden gems in the past that discounted and really cheap. Honestly, I don't really know if that's true, but I'm sure that these will hit discounters eventually. Pet Penchant is a great vocabulary word. I'm not familiar with the word, but please, pray tell, educate mine ears. Let's see here. A Bulgari Aqua Flanker. Which one? Which one was that you're looking for? I do like the Aquamarine. I still think it's one of the best summer fragrances out there. I think I joked about maybe making an extra video for it this year. I don't think I got around to doing that, but certainly it doesn't last the longest, that's for sure. But still one of the, especially in the designer game, one of the best designer summer fragrances. Good to see you making good sense. Ronald says apparently Smolder is a one-time release. It almost sold out. And Aaron Terrence Hughes said he's not making any more. I'm a little surprised. Yeah, and that's like the only one that I've seen that I really want and that I'm really interested in. So I don't know what to say about that. So I might never get to smell Smolder. Oh well. Maybe if it's popular enough, maybe he'll bring it back. I guess he's not. He's going to decide not to do that. Not really sure. We have some other. Again, I told y'all about Iceberg fragrances coming back almost from the dead. We also have some new fragrance releases from Police. If y'all don't know, Police actually had some fragrances in the past. Yes, like the band Police. There's an old band. If you don't know, they made some big '80s hits, and I think it was '80s, anyways. And there's one called Police Potion Love and Police Potion Power for Him. The bottles look really corny, and I'm sure that some people are gonna have a heyday and flip out because they think they're so kitschy or annoying. If you thought Invictus by Parker Rabanne was annoying, I'd love to see their reactions to these. Anyways, enough joking aside. Perfumology has a new fragrance called Sway Do Tea. If y'all don't know, they made Clutch and they made a couple other fragrances. Sorry if I'm responding. My responses are a little bit delayed to the comments. I'm having to refresh, or exit and then re-enter my lives to see the chats through a phone. So, have you ever checked out the House of Monsiage? Not yet. I don't think so. Let's see here. I read that. And thank you for the information again, Ronald. Casey says Fragrance Net changed their 30% off codes. Boo. They did. Did they still have the 35% off? 37 got so popular, and maybe they felt like they weren't making enough money that one got X'd. Maybe they got rid of the 35% off. So is the cheapest off you can get at Fragrance Net, is it now only 30%? Please let me know. Original Dogman says, yo, Original Dogman's in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Hope that everything's going well for you on your end. How's life going for you? Lolia, your favorite Killian fragrance? Probably Apple Brandy, and I do want to get my nose on the new Apple Brandy on the rocks. I did like vodka on the rocks. I smelled some clones and things that got pretty similar. I don't think I'd commit to a bottle of vodka on the rocks, even though I enjoyed it. But maybe Apple Brandy on the rocks is maybe the Killian I'll buy. Again, I got a sample of Apple Brandy when it was pretty much already discontinued and almost impossible to find. I think it's a good fragrance, but I don't know. I don't want to put in the effort and pay the extra money for the Killian. There's, I think Baranda by Nasomato, I don't think it's discontinued, but that one often sells out and is a very popular boozy fragrance as well. But I think you can still find that one. So, and I'm sure that there's going to be something else out there that pops up. So I never really get discouraged that much, but Killian Apple Brandy was one of their better ones for sure, in my humble opinion. Fragrance Net percentages down. They're down. So is the cheapest off you can get now? Is it only 30%? Let me know. Making Good Sense says Azaro Most Wanted reminds me of Code Perfumo. Your thoughts? Honestly, I haven't even tried Azaro Most Wanted. Maybe I need to. Again, it's kind of hard to go to the mall right now, but I do need to go and see if they have any of these things so I can smell them. I don't know if I'm going to keep blind buying designer fragrances just to review them. I don't have all the money in the world, and certainly I'm not making enough on this YouTube thing to keep that going with the views to just do that. But I do want to get all the new releases that are, people you'd like to see a review of it. I think I'm going to be able to get my hands on Sauvage Elixir to review that for y'all, but again, there's some of them that I really want to, but I just haven't got my hands yet. So, anyways, Azaro, or I wouldn't be amazed if that there are some similarities. I did really like the Wanted by Night, and some people say that the Wanted by Night is better than the Most Wanted. So, anyways, I agree with Ash, over there at Gent Sense, that we want the Wanted Dead or Alive, cowboy version, maybe leather heavy or booze heavy, like a lot of whiskey or something like that, because some of us want to be a darn cowboy. So please make it happen, Azaro. I know it's not politically correct. You already gave us the revolver, the cylinder and all that. So I mean, please do that for us. For us guys out there, you're gonna have us feeling like a cowboy. I'd love that. So, Judd the Stud says you'd know if watched his videos. Ben, have some reciprocity. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I'm not even sure what you're referring to. My goodness, what are we talking about? Let me know. Maybe I made a fool of myself. You let me know. New apple brandy on the rocks is meh. Really? Is it weaker than the original? Is it not as good as the original apple brandy? Oh man, I had really high hopes for that. Had some high expectations. Led Zepp says Monsiage has won the olfactory award in France for Otis Celery. Really? Otis Celery. Is this some kind of joke? I'll trust you, but I've never smelled. I haven't heard anybody talk about this fragrance. What do you think about La Nuit de l'Homme Bleu Electrique? I think what was that fragrance called? It was YSL Ultime. That was it. I tried that one. It was very mass appealing. I do completely agree with people that it was very mass appealing and likable and enjoyable, but it was a little bit powdery, maybe a little bit sweet in a not a bad way, not a synthetic way or anything, but sweet in a different way. So I don't know. After that, I really didn't try Blue Electrique. I might have tried the regular blue, but I haven't tried the Electrique. Um, anyways, I'm sure it's decent, but I don't know. Probably not something I'd be really excited about, but it looks decent. Original Dogman says no. I don't think that they changed the 35% to whatever it is now. Oh, you don't. So you can still get the 35% off out there if you search and Google it. Well, that's not too bad. I wanted to see a top 10 of all time favorite bin fragrances. Just hit us with the good stuff. I'll try to remember that and do that. I actually have downsized my collection once again. I've got myself down to about 50 odd fragrances. And believe it or not, I'm always selling, and I'm always trying to get my hands on new stuff. Y'all, I'm not. It doesn't seem like I get my hands on everything, but if y'all watch my Instagram, almost every day, it's like I'm sharing fragrance after fragrance after fragrance, and it's I keep a rotation of in the door, out the door, a lot. So hopefully that's entertaining. I think it's quite funny. I bet somebody out there, some people have said like, show us your collection. I bet it's crazy. And I think that they think that I keep everything that I've ever shown. I can't do that, and I really don't want to. Y'all know that. So, Wanted Gringo style. Yeah, we. They're gonna hunt us down. I don't know. That reminds. Was that like that? What was that? It was like a song from a song. It was like Run. Play that song like Run. Dun, 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 dun. Am I gonna get copyrighted for that? I don't know. Anyways, that's really funny. And there's a meme about that kind of stuff, like on TikTok as well, like hunting down the last straight guy in, I don't know, in 30 years. Anyways, I know what you're talking about. Dogman said, Wanted the good, the bad, and the ugly. I can see those flanked coming. I love that too, and that is a good Western movie. You know exactly. We're on the same page, man. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Clint Eastwood. Yeah, man. Good movie. Good movies for sure. Heart Notes TV says, yeah, weak. More citrus mixed in with it. I still want to try it, but oh man, don't can't don't let me down, Killian. I wanted to like your apple brandy on the rocks. I wanted to love it. I wanted to say a good thing about you, Killian. Don't do it to me. Um, Heart Notes. Okay, read that. The original Dogman says flankers making sense. Says, what's your thoughts on Azaro Wanted, Dogman? Yeah, let us know. I thought the original. I didn't connect to it too much. It's a decent fragrance, but I don't. It's kind of the composition, the blending, the transitions. I guess just don't seem smooth to me, but it's decent. And also in the dry down and the base, it just doesn't have a lot to offer. But Sorrow, Wanted by Night, kind of improved it. Some people say it's synthetic and annoying and all that, but a big compliment getter. I feel like the Fragcom is what it's always been. You do Fragrance Journey. You don't did you see what the fragrance community started as from the very beginning? Did you see that? Have you looked and watched any of those older fragrance reviews where people were focused on fragrances and reviewing individual fragrances? And I feel like the Fragcom is completely different. It's almost unrecognizable. And people don't act the same way. People don't review the same way. We have different attitudes towards fragrances and all kinds of things. That's to me, it's a whole different world. And when I first got into fragrances, most people I would find on Fragcom or YouTube videos, most people I found, I'd be interested in watching their content. For me personally, now I don't want to watch most people's content. I'm not saying anything about you, Fragrance Journey. I'm just saying in general, people doing unboxings and top tens, and it's not what I want to watch most of the time. Making good sense says most wanted. Yes. Heart Note says, I agree with you about Fragcom. Well, I know we all have different opinions. Says it's been what I've seen from the time of joining. Yeah, when you joined, maybe it hasn't changed as much. But when I started, is really when we start having this. I kind of see it as the second generation of fragrance reviewers to the third, what we have now. And before that, I kind of got to see a little bit of the ghost of the past of the first generation of fragrance reviewers. So if you do decide to go watch some of the older videos, you could go to some of the earliest ones. You could go watch some Katie Puckrick if you wanted to. She's lovely and her content's still good. It's still available. I do my own thing and stay to myself. Maybe you haven't watched any of those, but I hear you, Fragrance Journey. In the last couple years, 2 or 3 or so, not too much has changed. But again, I feel like we're developing, and one of the reasons I wanted to open up this discussion is because I feel like we're moving into this fourth generation of fragrance reviewers, where it's going to be focused more on sexiness, of course, and that's always been popular and that's always been relevant. People want to see that. And I feel like, there's been a lot of these ladies and some of these people who've really been going and at this topic and having a lot of success and, views and subscribers and all that wise. I feel like there's going to be some more ladies and some more people who decide to do this. And I mean, maybe I'm oblivious and blind, but I don't remember seeing, this metagame almost like Twitch. It hasn't gotten that bad, if you know what I'm talking about. But this complete change of Fragcom to more, ladies talking about sexiness for men's fragrances. I think that we're gonna have a mix when some of the men's fashion. Well, some of these ladies, especially, talking about men's fashion and style and grooming and all this and the fragrance. Some of those really big channels are going to kind of start eventually maybe start to blend that into Fragcom a little bit. And that's going to be interesting. Again, that's something somewhat common, that some genres are mixed, like with men's fashion. You got like watches that are mixed into it, and there's a couple different genres that kind of overlap. And there's not a lot of that's been done in fragrance, and of course, men's grooming is really quite similar. I've seen, there's some people who've done some wet shaving and kind of tried to blend wet shaving into it a little bit. And that's all fine and dandy, but I don't know how popular wet shaving is. I know that there's some people who are very passionate about it, but anyways, let me catch up with the comments. Mate sup. It's been Scotland. Good to see you, Raz. Good to see you, Scott. I lost my phone in the Loch Ness. Did Bessie get it? Did Bessie eat your cell phone? Swarm up and thankfully, you retrieved it, and it works because it's a waterproof a 12 Pro. Well, that's nice. It didn't go too deep or it didn't get submerged too long. You were able to recover it. And phones are expensive these days. That's I'd have a terrible time if my phone was destroyed, and those cost you like $1,000 these days almost. So Page of Style says my man Rob FJ01 is still doing traditional reviews. Yeah, there's still some legit people out here still doing individual fragrance reviews, and salute to you, my friends, for my opinion, keeping up the art and the critique of those fragrances. So Ronald says, do you prefer the older, more serious style or the more fun? I do think that being fun is needed. And I do think that we need to have even more personality in fragrances. But of course, not everybody has to be professional, and not everybody has to be, I don't know, what's it called? Like, I don't know, polite, or I can't even think of the right word. Like, I don't know, PG, family friendly and all that. But I do feel, for me personally, I do like to watch people who are more serious. And I do like top tens from time to time. And there's been some really valuable and helpful ones. But I don't want to disagree with Mr. Smelly, but and I don't want to cause drama and say I don't like a certain person's content. But if you know what I'm talking about, and if you know what's happening in Fragcom, I don't really watch some of these people he's pushing, and these upcoming bigger fragrance type people, and I generally don't find entertainment in their sense of humor. And I know some people don't find me entertaining. Sorry, they don't really find me likable, and I know that we're all different. So, and yeah, it's I don't know. I guess we all have a different sense of humor, that's for sure. So, but again, they're talking about fragrance, and they're bringing people into the passion of fragrance, and we can all still be friends, and we can still respect each other. And that's really what, Fragcom needs to be, because again, we're going to have, as time goes on, we're going to have people who are focused, those more and more as the viewership and the content creators grow. There's going to be wider and wider different styles and different approaches, and we're going to have different personalities, and hopefully we can still keep together somewhat of a sense of community. And I think that's very important for us to still keep that going. It seemed, Mr. Smelly, I think he's been doing a lot of good things to help in bringing us together. Some people might think he's not, but I think he's done a lot to help recently, especially to help bring us together and to, pay attention to each other and to get thinking and to get involved with each other. And, I do like that. I like that an awful lot. So whatever stays the same, it's evolution. Yes, things do change. Change for sure. That's for sure. But again, in regards to individual fragrance reviews, I do think that style, just in general, of course, there's different ways of doing individual fragrance reviews. I think that will always be relevant. I think that I watch individual reviews, and I look for individual reviews of computers, video games, everything, hot sauce. Almost anything I'd want to buy. I look for individual fragrance reviews. Top tens can be helpful, but generally I don't watch top tens of products. And I wish sometimes I search for things and there's no reviews of them on YouTube. And I wish that I could find a review of a certain product or a certain thing. So I don't know. Maybe that's not what everybody wants, and because maybe that's less desirable, people are going to create less of that. Maybe we'll see less and less of individual. Maybe that's what people really watch, and I don't know. I don't, and that's one reason I bring up that sometimes. I'm going to try to get y'all feedback from YouTube. I don't know if it's going to work, but uh, I have, I don't know. I'm not in contact with anybody at Google or YouTube or anything like that, but I've entered myself, and supposedly it almost looks like I'm under review to be able to get a little bit of Skype time to give YouTube some feedback. I don't know if it's an individual Skype review or if I'm in a group of people who's able to give like a vote to something. I don't know if this is an individual face to face like Skype type somebody with on YouTube. But I have a lot of questions about them regarding the fragrance community and YouTube in general, and I really would personally like to be able to have an understanding of lots of things that have happened, lots of things that are going to, going forward. So, anyways, I won't say too much more about that. Hopefully, I'll be able to get y'all some answers and some feedback because, again, like BP Wool was here. Again, again, camera work and lighting and all that is relevant, but really, when somebody works that hard and creates that much content and they have more videos than they have subscribers, and it's I don't know, it's an interesting thing. Is that really is that really not that popular, or is he really not that likable? I don't think so. YouTube, but I don't know, what is YouTube done. What are you doing? So Dry Dock and Frag Boy Stewie. Yeah, if I remember Frag Boy Stewie, big person, really energetic personality, really sporty looking type. Let's see here, but I love Dre Doc. I love Coach Rob 619. Awesome guys. So, what is your favorite all-time fragrance reviewer? Original Frag G, probably Coach Rob. He was, and I did love watching my Mickers as well. And again, I did watch some Max Forte and a lot of these other guys as well. But probably Coach Rob 619, and I did like watching my Mickers for sure. Love those guys. So, I like hot sauce. Yeah, there's some good hot sauce out there. So I'm still testing, and I still like to buy a new hot sauce from time to time and try something new. I don't go for the hottest stuff out there. Habanero is usually the hottest I go for, but I can handle some spice. I'm not weak in regards to spice. I can drink Diablo, sauce from Taco Bell pretty much, but some of these people out there taking ghost peppers and some of these crazy scorpion peppers and things, and that's a little painful. That's a little too much for me. Music isn't the same. They changed the way we view relationships on TV. Certainly, music does have an effect on thoughts and culture, and how platforms interact changes what content's created, and how content creators, how they create content affects the viewers and affects the people. So it's there's some interesting things that need to be thought and discussed, and I don't know if I'm going to get any clear answers or any answers from YouTube, but I would like to see if they would give me any straight answers on anything. And I know some people who have been through who are a lot bigger YouTubers, who have gone through a lot bigger issues, and have actually talked to YouTube before, and it seems like they've gotten some feedback, but they didn't give them any clear answers, algorithm or anything or any anything, I guess, definitive. So but yeah, thankfully it's only a couple of meters down. I'm rocking the mighty beastly Montal Blue Amber. Hope that you're enjoying that. Montal does have some good ones again. So it's a risky purchase if you ever blind buy a Montal, but some of them are good. I'm liking Oud Leather, Arabian Tonka, and Saffron Oud, I think they're called. So I doubt it. Nobody remembers the time Sweetkoff on here, who started reviewing in 2008, the first ever male YouTube fragrance reviewer. Yeah, see, like I need to find some of those people. But YouTube doesn't, suggest those types of people. They suggest what's recent and what's modern. Like if you search for fragrance reviews, it's going to blast top tens in your face. And even if you search for, a certain fragrance, review that these people have done, they'll be at the bottom of the list behind. I've searched for certain fragrance reviews, and to find an actual fragrance review of what I want to see, it's like 5 or 6 videos or more down. I keep getting pushed top tens and content from some of these growing popular people, because YouTube assumes that you're just like everybody else and that you want to see what everybody else wants to see. So why? And it's easier for the algorithm if you just click and watch what it suggests. But so you have to go through the extra effort to actually find what you want. It's YouTube's a funny thing, and it's I probably would watch more YouTube if I could. I can't find things I want to watch on YouTube half of the time anymore. I really can't even find what I want. I have to go searching and digging for actual things that I want to see. And I'm sure that there's lots of content creators that I would like to watch, but I actually don't. They don't get recommended to me, and sometimes I find them by happen chance. But you go for your what's that called, the explore page they call it, but it's essentially, it used to be a recommended page by what's actually popular. They've admitted that YouTube cherry picks those, and for what they think is good advertising for pretty much advertisers, and what's good for the image of their platform. What you're seeing on the For You page isn't necessarily the most popular. So again, I don't get into politics, but if you look up news, you don't find people. You certainly don't find any real news half of the time, or anybody who's, I don't know. They really push the big channels and the big names, even if they're far less popular. And I've looked up news before, and I've gotten the Weather Channel suggested a couple times before what I was even trying to learn about or even hear about somebody's thoughts or opinions on something. I actually had the Weather Channel recommended. And it's funny, it's like a Weather Channel. It has like sometimes one time it had like 17,000 views, and it was suggested before what I was looking for a couple videos down. and the video I was looking for had like over 200,000. It's a mess. Anyways, let's see. I noticed let's see, catch up with the comments. And again, good thought, Raz Scott. Again, very good thoughts. Heart Notes TV says, I notice bigger channels that get stuff for free are biased when they say they aren't. I sent 3 things they won't review the one they don't like, to keep it real, only the ones they like. Let me think about that again. If sent 3 things, they won't review the one. Yeah, a lot of people simply won't review what they don't like, and they won't give a critical review of a brand because they don't want to offend them, to give them negative spotlight. And that's been an interesting topic that we've talked about before. Some people, want to build up their channel and don't offend people, and certainly you're going to get more views if you just speak positively about what you like. You're likely to offend or maybe get people to unsubscribe from you if you're negative about something some people like. I'm very open and honest, and that's what I like to see. I've been very open about, I personally don't like Sauvage GDT, but I don't tell people it's trash. I've never said anything like that. But me just simply saying that I don't prefer Sauvage GDT, it's not my favorite, could cause somebody to not want to watch you and stuff like that. And it is relationships with the companies as well. You don't want to step on their toes, especially if you're getting things or money. Again, I've never gotten paid actual money for my fragrance reviews, but from what I hear, and from what I can tell, people are getting paid. And some people have been very open on Instagram about getting paid for their reviews on Instagram. And well, I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if you can be unbiased. Some people think you can. Some people don't think you can. I don't know. There's one person I know that they get paid and they still put out pretty good fragrance reviews. They're still pretty darn good, but on Instagram. But I don't know. I don't know if that's possible. Raz Scott says sweet toft cubby. Yeah, I've heard of cubby. Yeah, then Mark rubs away were the first three legends. Absolutely, and I need to catch up and watch more cubby. I'm not really too familiar with that. Ben says, "Hey Ben, getting Talia by Tizian Terenzi and Diaz and Durga El Cosmico." Again, gonna save them for Christmas. You're gonna have 16 fragrances. You're gonna have a big holiday, a big Christmas celebration for you. Don't faint and knock yourself out with all those fragrances, but those sound fun. Those sound fun. And Ben, going on with the fragrance. Heart Notes TV says, I even saw one bigger reviewer complain uh, that something they were getting for free took a while to get to them. Yeah, and I don't want to name names, but I watched somebody and they're still very popular and very relevant and a pretty big name in Fragcom, and they said that they won't hype or say anything. They'll probably review things. It's at least it seemed to me that they were saying that they'll still review things, but they won't be really positive about it because they know how much influence they have, and if they say are very positive about a fragrance, they know how much money they're going to make somebody because people follow their recommendations, and I guess that's being what an influencer is. And they said they won't say anything really positive about or highly positive about a brand. Sorry, my voice is going unless they get paid. And some people have been very open about this kind of stuff, but their viewers still watch them and they're still very popular and still growing. So I don't know what to say more to say about that. Some of us in the Fragcom very much care about being authentic and real. But I don't know, maybe we're in the minority. Maybe we're not everybody. Some people, maybe they don't care. I don't know, because some of these people, these big fragrance reviewer influencers have been very open about some of this, and nobody seems to say much of anything. Again, I talked about some of the biggest fragrance controversies that have ever happened and mentioned them on my live, and none of the other fragrance reviewers ever made videos or ever made a peep, never said anything about some of the biggest things that have ever happened in Fragcom. So I don't know. There's an unwillingness to talk about anything possibly controversial or what might negatively impact you. I don't know if these people are under contract. I really don't know. I would challenge companies to send me stuff. I would keep it real because I rate it like a Barstool pizza guy, and he does his pizza. Yeah, you got to keep it real. And when I get things for free, I've never signed any paperwork. I've never signed any contract, and and nobody's ever asked me to be nice. I had one person who wanted me to rush a fragrance, like a little review on Instagram, and I kind of put it together. But when people are pushy, and that's even annoying, and that's even a negative. So yeah, it's. And the funny thing is, I see some people get things for free and they don't even review them. And I don't know. Again, when my eyes started first opening to this kind of stuff, there were some people who are getting some of the new free Roja colognes, the Parfum colognes, and they got all four of them. If y'all were paying attention, y'all know what I'm talking about. And a couple people got these fragrances, and none of them actually reviewed. None of them did a video about the new, the whole line, the new Parfum Cologne collection. None of these fragrance reviewers ever did an individual fragrance review for any of those. So I don't know. Maybe some of these fragrance reviewers expect and they get things for free, and then they sit back and tell the company, I'll give you a review, and they try to negotiate a price for a review. I don't know what these people are doing. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. I can't. That's the most speculation I can do. Probably shouldn't speculate, but it's to me that was shocking to see these people, give unboxing or show these fragrances, and then never hear about them ever again. Never get a reviews, talk about the collection or anything. So, what fragrances would you deem unwearable? There's some that I don't prefer. I don't like really strong, heavy yellow aldehydes, yellow oily aldehydes as well. heavy animalic white florals. I guess you call them indolic. Sometimes jasmine's too strong for me in fragrances. I struggle sometimes with chamomile, but sometimes it can be nice. Carnation is sometimes I like it. It depends. Often struggle with ylang and immortelle. Those are often notes I just hard for me to handle. And those are both yellow florals, if I remember right. That's what they're categorized as. But I don't know. Specific fragrances, I don't know. There's none that have really disgusted me too much. Sombre by Strangers perfumery was intentionally made to be disgusting, so I wouldn't want to wear it. It's intentionally made to be very disgusting. There was Hercules. I did a review of that on Fragrantica, but I don't know. I don't know what else. There's not too many fragrances that I can think of. Maybe I've tried to put them out of my memory that I can remember. Like Koros, again, I respect it, but it's not that bad. But I probably wouldn't wear that. But I do respect people who wear it. I think the Anateus has a tiny bit of a similar quality. It's not the same, but I personally like the Anateus a lot more. Raz Scott says 10 years ago we all used to do reviews and stuff. Yeah, we just had a good time, just kicked it around and joked and focused on the fragrances. Yeah, and now we just get evolved into what is today, like with anything. Yeah, I guess that's how it works. Society changes, culture changes, and I guess the fragrance com changes. Huh? Happy Land 7. Yeah, that one's nice, and it has that it's interesting, like fresh, almost like classic fragrance, but then it has a twist on it with some white chocolate, if I remember right. So yeah, Happy Land. I don't know how you're supposed to say that. Seven C7 or Svin. Raz Scott says Luton Musk Kubla Khan is pretty rank. I've heard that's very animalic. I've always wanted to get a sample of that just for the fun and the kick of it, but I haven't. So like musky or sweaty fur coat. So that doesn't sound too pleasant. Anyways, thanks for all of your comments and all that. And feel free, let's keep going. Let's keep going. But I forgot to tell y'all, I do have some notes to tell you of this new fragrance called Sudu Te from the House of Perfumology. So looks like a nice fruity, spicy fragrance. Floral fruity as they describe it. Lots of nice fruits. I don't want to read you all the notes to bore you. It does have an interesting note of Masoi wood, Australian sandalwood. Once again, I don't know if that's becoming more available. It's probably maybe it's the cheaper alternative. Probably is to the real stuff. The Mysore for sure. It's got orchid, and I like cardamom always. So, Sudu Te looks nice. I might have to try that. I do like Frangipani. That floral doesn't scare me too much. Let's see. Any other fragrances that look interesting? A new Arrage L'Adore is coming out, and a new bottle. I do have to say the bottle looks chic. The bottle looks nice. From again, Manly from Arrage L'Adore. See here, oak moss, sweet notes, cinnamon, tobacco, saffron. I like the notes going into this one. Manly by Arrage L'Adore. I do need to try more Arrage L'Adore, and this might be one that I have to try. It's got patchouli, it's got sweet notes, it's got cinnamon, tobacco, saffron, tonka bean, nutmeg, cashmere, so leathery vibe, sandalwood, vanilla, more leather, and Indian oud. That looks like a great fragrance, doesn't it? And it's got some oak moss, so that looks nice. So I don't know if y'all like leather, but hey, bruh, that looks good. So let's see what else we got popping over here. Some brands that are new that I'm not familiar with, like Phoebo, Miller Harris. I think I've seen that before. Never tried them. Maison de l'Aisy. We got a new. Oh, I've seen some people review this one or talk about this one. Commodity Milk. Some people seem to really like Commodity out there. When they were around there for $40, $50 odd dollars, I think there was one called Book, or I think it was Book or Library or something. And there was another one. I can't even remember what it was. I remember there were two of them that were decent. I tried the whole discovery set, and I wasn't impressed with the quality. I mean, they were decent, they were good, but I don't know. I for 30, 40 odd dollars they were decent, but this one is called Milk, and it's got marshmallow in it. So that sounds nice. And it's got the note of mahogany. So and tonka beans. So that's got some interesting notes to it. So that looks an improvement. It looks like an improvement to me. It looks nice. So I do want to try Milk, even though it had some, I don't know, it wasn't bad experience. There was so much hype with these commodity fragrances, and then I got myself a discovery set, and it was one of those times I just did not understand the hype personally. So there's a bunch of new fragrances from the house of Aesop. Really haven't explored these. The notes don't look too interesting, but they do look solid. They do look decent, but the notes and the compositions don't look terribly, I guess you could say niche or unusual, strange, or complex. I don't know. There's a new fragrance house popping in called Perlerin. Don't know who's making this fragrance, but the presentations look decent. Don't know who's behind all these brands and how much money or effort's actually gone into them. So there's a new Bortnikov coming out called Lao Oud. Probably a lot of oud from Laos. Met a lady from there. Nice for sure. Seems like a good place. I don't know, but I hope to visit. And fragrance has magnolia, pink pepper, has some beeswax, cinnamon, cacao. Interesting notes. Looks smoky and woody, complex. It's got coffee. It's got coffee and vanilla. Chamomile, it can be iffy, but when it's got chocolate, coffee, vanilla, tonka bean, ouds, birch tar, smoky with ouds and woods, and it's got magnolia to soften things up with that kind of soft, almost like creamy white floral. That sounds nice too. So there are some good niche things coming out. There is some good stuff to try if you're a curious nose. If you want some of that strange juice, some of that strange sauce, if you're deep on that niche, the fragrance in. So here's the last fragrance. I'll go through some more to see if I've missed any. But there's a new La Vieille Belle from Lancôme. This is the Le Eau de Parfum. It's not just the regular Eau de Parfum, the Le Eau de Parfum, and it's the Blanche version. I know that they've gone on a flanker rampage with this line. Very popular line, a big top seller, and I don't know how many flankers there are with this line, like 20 or more. I don't even know, but it's got ambrette, so it's got some more musk to it. It's got iris. It's got some nice stuff. Maybe this one's not going to be as sweet. Maybe it'll be fresher and not as sweet, not as heavy. Maybe some of the ladies out there will like it. So let me know. I haven't seen too many new comments. Are y'all excited that Police has released some new fragrances? And are y'all excited that Porsche has released some new fragrances? Those are going to hit the designers, probably hit your TJ Maxx and your Ross eventually, and not too long. I don't know how. It might take 6 months. I don't know. So to get here, what is your favorite vetiver? Hey, Sultan Vetiver by Nishane is great, but I'm trying to look at my collection. I don't have too many vetiver forward fragrances. Terre d'Hermes Eau Très Fresh, fantastic for sure. I think there's a fragrance out there called Cure Cora. I want to get that one. I think that one has some vetiver. Probably Timbuktu by Light Artisan is probably my favorite vetiver of all time. Probably has to go to Timbuktu. But there's some good ones out there. And again, if you're on a budget and you like those maybe slightly more classic fragrances and you have not gotten yourself Guerlain's Vetiver or Guerlain Vetiver Extreme, that's probably going to put a smile on your face, especially if you don't like to pay too much on a fragrance. So let me catch up here. Let's see if there's any other there's the new Parfums de Marly, the Oriana. Let me know if you want me to talk more about that. It looks nice. It has raspberry, I think, and some other notes to it, following that raspberry cherry craze. So the notes look really good on it. I want to smell it. I want to try it. So Let's see if there's any other fragrances that catch my attention. I think I've looked at most of them so far. Caught most of them, but let's double check. And again, feel free to let me know anything you want to tell me. So let's see. Incident Diplomatique by Javoy. Oh, absolutely. And doesn't that one have a lot of patchouli to it, if I remember right? Absolutely. That's a great one. Anyways, any other thoughts or questions, feelings, thoughts, opinions, anything else you would like to tell me or let me know? We've had a good time tonight. I've said a lot of things that were on my mind, and I almost feel like I've gotten some things off my chest. Again, they were well intentioned, and I hope that they get us, influence or help the Frags community in the best possible way. 4160 Tuesdays has been releasing some fun fragrances. Some of them are hits, some of them are not, but they have one called Fluffy Lemon Top, probably trying to get on that lemon meringue craze like Chanel Allure Homme Edition Blanche. I don't think it's a clone, but it could be inspired by it. It looks nice, though. Some people have been saying good things about Genos, and there's some new Genos fragrances. I do want to get my nose on those. So, anyways, I don't see anything in too many other things that are catching my attention so far. But let's see. Ormond Jane does have a new fragrance if you love oak moss called Evernia. Don't know if it's unisex. Sounds like it's going to be unisex. I don't think it's going to be feminine based, but Ormond Jane Evernia, a new oak moss fragrance coming out. And you'll know that Ormond Jane gives you good blending and top-notch quality. So pretty much for what they are. And let me catch up with the comments. Let me refresh my live here to see if there's anything else for us to talk about. This is okay. No new comments. Okay, my friends. So thank y'all for hanging out with me. I'm going to give you one last chance to say good night or any questions or thoughts or opinions you'd like to share with me. I think that we've been going pretty strong on our live tonight. We've been on here for like almost an hour and a half, having a very good time. And I hope that you've enjoyed some time with me. Hope that I don't look too sunburnt. I've been really out in the sun. I guess a bit of a wild man. And again, you get to see who I am, an authentic personality. And hope that you enjoy my fragrance reviews and hanging out with me in that sense of friendship and family and all that. And again, if you want to ask me questions, get a personal fragrance recommendation, or tell me something, again, reaching out to me, messaging me on Instagram is the best way to get a hold of me. And again, I put out 2 posts a day, other content besides my fragrance videos here on YouTube, on Instagram. So if you want to see more fragrance reviews, unboxings, scents of the day, I do invite you over there. I do enjoy the platform, honestly, more than YouTube. And again, the family over there and the community is growing much faster for me over there than it ever has for YouTube. So anyways, be cool. Yes, have a great weekend, everybody. Have a beautiful weekend. Have fun out there. I hope that you get to relax, eat some good food, have a good time, have some friendship. And again, I hope that you enjoyed our live tonight. And again, I'll hopefully this interview of sorts will go down with YouTube, and hope maybe I'll be able to get some answers. I doubt that they're going to give any real hard answers, especially to somebody who's this small on YouTube. But it would be interesting to see what their attitudes are like, and how they view the YouTube world in general. Because if you've ever seen any of their promotional videos, YouTube kind of acts like they're a place of inclusivity and all this and all that PR stuff. And all I see is people, being kept down and kicked out and all this and a lot of crazy stuff happening with YouTube. So, but there's a lot of positive. Life is good for sure. I enjoy life, enjoy your fragrances. And that's what really matters. That's what really matters. Making good sense. I'll see ya. Thank you for popping in too, my friend, and everybody. Again, I wish you the very best. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful life. I'll see you soon. And again, I've reviewed fragrances. Most of the time they're always an individual fragrance review in depth. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So sorry about that. Have a good one, everybody. Live well. I'll see you soon. I'll see you very soon. And I do know that I need to get a haircut. I do know that I need to get trimmed. So my life has been pretty chaotic right now. I'm going to try to get myself cleaned up a little bit and a little bit presentable, as they say. Anthony Concepcion. Well, good night, my friend. Thank you for hanging out with me. And again, hopefully you like seeing these hands. One is, damaged finger. And as you can tell, that's real callous from, I don't have the most rugged hands, the most beat up hands, but you can tell that I do some work. I swing a tool. Anyways, I'll see everybody. Have a good night. And thanks for being a friend. Peace out, everybody. Bye.